spawned.
Hello guys and welcome to another TF only video. I'll be doing a commentary of this one. Hopefully it will be fine, I guess. This is a video I played yesterday, but I played off stream and I felt there were some good key elements in the game, so I would talk and highlight them. So I start off by just trying to balance the wave and then getting the melees. There's really nothing like special or peculiar, because mostly Lissandra players, they start shoving the wave or try to find an angle to shove and hit you with their Q whenever it's up, or basically whenever it's available. And I try to maintain the wave, and I view my duo rushing there, but I'm not level 2. Lissandra has priority because of the shove, so he ends up dying, which is really bad and kind of weird how he routed. I don't know why he would route like that, but he said because of the ward he's stronger, level 2, to 1v1 the tally, but because Lissandra came he obviously loses. So I told him obviously I don't have mid priority, so I don't understand the play, but it's fine, just reset and the game continues. But that was just awkward. But as I was saying before, is Lissandra usually has priority and always tries to hit you with Qs on the wave as you clear. My auto there got cancelled, so I got kind of pissed when I missed that minion, because it seemed kind of awkward. Here I managed to proc her, to get some poke and proc some bone plating on her, because I'm soon hitting 4, and level 4 is the only moment where TF has a kind of a sweet spot to start trying to set up kills 1v1 on the opponent. But I see her recalling, so my instinct is I need to shove it out rapidly. So whenever I have Q up, I'm gonna try to line up everything and then shove it out accordingly. I noticed that Lissandra doesn't recall right away, which is odd, so at first she must have thought she could have walked it, so she didn't understand how fast I cleared them or how efficiently I cleared them. And then she used her TP late, which is good for me because then she both arrived later in lane, she lost some minion and gold, and she's late to shove it, so I can come back quicker to uh, get more out of the wave without her crushing it in early on. And as you can see, only only 2 minions died, the ranged and a melee. I'll auto that and then I will queue the rest because I saw how it was setting up, and I started auto attacking the ranged so they could get in kill in execution range when I queue the cannon, so I get both of them. Here I hit level 5 and I noticed that I have some damage on her, so I keep stepping back and forth trying to see if I can get an angle on her and try and poke her. She tries to hit the stun on me, and then here she goes all in to dodge my Q. So I'm thinking she's she has cooldowns, I can just kill her here. Here I flash in case her Q would have hit me, but in the aftermath I don't think it was needed. But the forethought for the play was I keep stepping back and forth around here, and then she kind of like wanted to take the minion, which allowed me to gain distance and stun her and Q her. She then pressed her E to avoid the Q and then started trading with me. And because of her mana pool and how her health was, I knew I could just all in her and kill her there. So it was just an observation of me trying to set up a poke before she hit 6, and then it allowed me later to kill her because of how it went down, but initially started as a thought for poking her out and slowly trying to set up the kill. I wasn't immediately going for the kill, but ended up fine. There I lacked 2 mana to actually Q the cannon, which kinda pissed me off, I guess. Because the cannon minions are juicy, but I get a nice reset, and then I tell my duo, who was a bit behind because of the earlier play, that he gets an entire wave to soak on XP while I reset. So our team doesn't really lose anything from me resetting because there's someone there to collect my wave. Bot lane keeps dying, and top is kind of hard to gank because the guy is auto-filled. He agreed to swap with me, so I keep checking for options, thinking what we can do. And as of yet, I can't gank bot lane because Ashe doesn't have ult, and top lane seems a bit risky or time consuming as well. And if I do roam, I'm just gonna allow Lissandra to get back into the game because the new system, how they do bomb plating. So I'm kind of stuck in a lane for a while, which you guys will see. And there's nothing really much to talk about. I just clear pretty standard the wave. I don't try to lane manipulate because I have my summoners down, so I just want to clear the wave uh, as efficiently as possible. But I lose 2 CS because I'm retarded, I guess, here, which is surprising, which I only noticed now, so I must have blocked off that when it happened in game because it was so bad. But yeah, whenever I have sums down or I manage to kill my opponent 1-on-1, I usually just tend to farm the lane because my summoners are down. So the risk of me dying against killing them again is just really huge on dying and low on killing them. So I'm just back to shove and farm. And since I have Catalyst, Adorance Ring, and Dark Seal, I'm not gonna go on mana anytime soon. So I just keep queuing the wave and farming it out really efficiently and safe. And then I just reset and stand at my tower, and I keep watching the minimap ever since I hit 6 and recalled. And even though bot lane is have a nice angle, I don't know where Tali is. I know my jungler has been top a while and she still hasn't shown. And then there goes a blast cone, so I assume that they're now on Infernal because they keep spotting them. And they are on Infernal. It's gonna be confirmed like any second because it's kind of obvious. Bot lane was okay. They're soon gonna be on Infernal. It's my bad. I first assumed they would be on Infernal, but when I make this roam, they're definitely gonna be on Infernal. We spot Tali as well. I thought my duo would jump back, but I didn't. I didn't call it. The reason I didn't call it is because he kept fighting the Trend, leaping back and in from the bush that's next to the blue buff, but then he didn't, so I didn't think I'd call it because I thought he'd do it for a third time, which he didn't. And now that they spotted us, they basically, my team says just take the first tower and give them the Infernal, because bot lane are really weak and they don't really have priority to do anything. So even if Rengar was around, I think we would have hard lost 4v4. So at least they're gonna try to put some pressure onto the Tryndamere and just gonna give up the first Infernal to them. Luckily there isn't a second Infernal spawning right away, so it's gonna ease up the game a bit. My team end up dying, trading 1-for-1 top, which is kind of not what we want either, and they failed to take the first turret. Because as you can see on the minimap, there's only one bomb plating. And I'm still stuck farming in lane, like I only have one Dark Harvest stack. It has been a really garbage ass rune for me so far. And I just got my summoners back, but I don't really have any mana. So it's even hard for me to roam bot. And I watch them basically get dove bot and they die. I'm thinking here I need to recall quickly, get some mana and see um, if I can gank bot lane, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it. So far I'm just thinking, okay, we've lost Infernal. Top lane is doing okay, but that's because of the camp. Bot lane are feeding horribly. My duo is behind as well. I'm like the only one in the team in a decent spot, and I've been even failing CS because I'm fucking retarded. Um, they only have one Dark Harvest stack, and I haven't done anything in the game, which obviously I really can't comment because I'm just restricted how I feel by the team and how the bot lane is, of how they're playing or how bad they are. I tried to stick around and see if I could kill this, and then I just flash upwards. Here the Tryndamere kind of all-ins us, and I ignite him, but then my duo sticks around and he gets hit by Taliki, which is again fucking weird. So I got a bit pissed because Tryndamere would have died from my ignite, but he got Triumph on the last tick and then he lived on the tick that should have killed him. And I asked him how did he die, because from my camera angle, how I was looking in game, I didn't see him step back in trying to look if he could leap someone. But Tali just randomly queued twice and procced the echo on the jungle item, and then he just died, and that gave Tryndamere the triumph. So I wasn't too pleased with it. I just thought it was really odd because Tryndamere was 100% dead. There's no point in my duo risking and staying there. So he's done like two mistakes this game that was just really random, and they were both basically at the same spot, ironically, which I just kind of realized. I didn't think too much of it in game. I get cancelled, but I still wanna recall a bit because I wanna try and see if I can match bot lane, but we don't end up seeing her. She ends up cancelling me, so I keep trying to chase the Lissandra with Mundo, which isn't really optimal. Bot lane is dying again, which is just really bad. At least I managed to trade 1-for-1 as of yet. We failed to get the Lissandra, Tryndamere responded, and here I'm definitely recalling. Only had mana for Mercs at this point because I didn't complete the Rod until some time ago. And as you can notice, there's like 14 minutes and I still don't have any fucking stacks or KP. Lissandra is and how because of how they reworked her passive, I know she doesn't have any mana. So I kinda trolled her and stopped my auto attack and let the turret kill her. And I shouldn't have done that because she was close getting another bomb plating proc on the tower. But I was kind of like just playing around and laughing. And I knew she was suiciding for the gold. So I just stood still and let the turret kill her for the final hit for fun, but I shouldn't have done that. She was nearly getting 160 gold for no reason on my end. But at least now I managed to finally get my second KP, which only took like until 14 minutes to get it. I have 3 Dark Harvest stacks, but the game is looking really poorly still. They managed to get a shutdown on Tryndamere, which is fine. I recall I get Aether Wisp because I can't really afford anything else, if I remember correctly. And then I come back, and then I try to rush back to lane and help them. Unfortunately, Ashe dies again, and she's 1-4. She's feeding her ass off. Neither her or my jungler is in a good spot still. I managed to get a free proc on Misfortune, so I was happy I managed to land the Q there, and she walked into it. So I got another Dark Harvest stack, so that's like another +5 damage onto the rune, which will be essential later, because I keep stacking it slowly. And by slowly I mean excruciatingly slow this game, because as you guys can tell, I've just been farming and I haven't even done a good job. I should have been maybe around 150 to 170 CS. Because I think about the 12-minute mark, you can have around 130, 140 if you have perfect. So I've been failing quite a few CS and I haven't even been roaming a whole lot, except the fail roam I did on Tryndamere, which I miscoordinated with my duo, because I read the I read the tendency wrong. I used a different kind of foresight to predict, and I was wrong. So I didn't think I needed to communicate. I just read wrong and was stupid to miscoordinating something simple. Apart from that, I've only really altered Lissandra afterwards. So I haven't done a whole lot other than farm and solo kill her twice. But the second solo kill was her suiciding for the bonus gold. So it wasn't really a huge ass solo kill. And I only have 4 stacks because of one fight that happened mid lane, which I managed to get my third off her and then hitting Misfortune with Q. Here I spot everyone on the map from the enemy team. I could tell there are 3 people top and 2 people bot lane. So I know I can take this wave, and luckily I spot that they lack minions for top lane as of yet. So I can clear out this and I'll be making time to try and come there. But then I spot that maybe we can catch their bot lane. But the Janna ends up recalling, because she was kind of in a good spot to try and bait for me and Ashe. Because Ashe has ulti, I believe, still. So I'm trying to look for an angle, but 2 of them ends up missing, so we don't know if Lissandra and Tali went down into our jungle. So I keep pathing carefully, trying to see if something comes up or something happens. But it doesn't end up being the case, so I return to bot lane to see if I can just continue and farm another wave. I then spot, however, my teammate fighting on the minimap, so I reroute quickly and see if I can walk somewhere again. I ult over the wall because I know I can stun Misfortune here, and then I combo her. I get another Dark Harvest stack. I manage to get Misfortune, and I manage to get Lona. Unfortunately, because of Misfortune dying really late, the Dark Harvest didn't reset quickly enough for me to try and proc it onto Lona, which I tried to do, because Lona died before it resetted. I spot Lissandra bot lane, and I know that Tryndamere suicided for the turret, and I see Tali too, with the other 2 people being dead. Tali dies as well. I thought maybe if she doesn't die I can help chase or catch her out, but since she died I could safely take the turret as I spotted everyone else, and we get some gold finally back, team fighting, and I get another stack and kill, and I managed to complete my second item. I don't want my duo to take this wave, so obviously I take it from him, because I'm in a better position to carry than his, and I'm the only person who's sitting on 0 deaths. Here he's calling we can't fight, and I'm thinking, dude, we can just fucking kill them, you know? Like, they're free. Here we dodge the MF ult. The Leona overextends again because she's retarded, and we managed to get another kill onto her, and because of how the TP changes are, we can't get another, he can't cancel it anymore. But I get another stack and another assist, so I'm happy just power farming up and trying to reach another item. My duo took the rift sometime, which I never noticed until he activated it actually now into the point of the game. But since I'm really low and I don't really want to do anything with the rift, and it's still risky for us to team fight, I end up resetting and I keep anguishing at this point. Should I go Zania, shouldn't I? And even though I have a lot of damage, I think if I can block or flash something of Lissandra or Lona, then maybe my team can actually try to salvage a team fight if they're on me and I end up staying alive. Here I proceed bot lane because my teammates were fighting, and then I try to see if I can live. I know I need to flash here. I stun the Tryndamere. I spot the Lissandra coming, so I kind of want to juke and kill the Tryndamere. but he heals too much with his Q, so I tried to see if I can snipe him there. I thought I hit the Q, and I wanted to check over wall and then card him, but apparently I missed it. So I didn't really care for what card I locked, and I didn't think he'd healed that much, so to my surprise when I checked the corner, he had healed, I had missed, the heal was way too much, and he just killed me because I'm retarded, so I was kind of disappointed dying there, but I guess it's okay. Um, Despite my team dying, the enemy team don't get a whole lot from it. Um, there's there's another dragon on the map, and they managed to get another mountain. But as of yet, they didn't really get too much from us screwing up bot lane, and the game is keep progressing, and we keep coming back a bit. Here I Q and get the Tryndamere max range. I'm happy to get my 9th stack on Dark Harvest because I keep stacking it up. There I tried to see if I could get it off Lona, but I can't, she wasn't low enough. So I keep trying to check and see if somehow I could get a stack. Here I do a risky Q onto the MF and I managed to get my 10th stack. And then I see the Tali and I keep chasing them slightly to see if I can cancel the recalls. Because as you guys can see, my ult is coming up. So I make sure now to hit the creeps so I get my E. And I spotted Lona before, so I go and kill the Lona for free. And then I move up because I saw Lissandra. Unfortunately, she still stays in the bush, so I kind of miss her at this point. But then I go and we managed to now catch the Lissandra a bit. I'm gonna Q her timely with Lasagna, so she dies. And then I spot the Tryndamere, and I'm trying to ignite him, so he dies by the ignite, which Ash makes sure by auto-attacking him. And the team fight ends up being really good. And we're gonna now try to start Baron. We know that Lona just respawned, so it's mainly just the Tali and the Misfortune. I try to see if I can gain distance on Tali, which I can't, to stun her over her wall. And then I keep chasing her and I pray to my team, please don't hit Baron, please don't hit Baron. But what do you know, my team is fucking retarded and they keep hitting Baron before I catch up to Tali because of her passive. How her Tali's passive work is when she's next to a wall and she's not in combat, she gains additional movement speed. So it was really hard for me to catch her. And my team kept hitting Baron like fucking apes. And unfortunately, uh, when they stopped hitting Baron, Misfortune apparently ulted and brought it down to smite range, which then propelled Tali to flash over the wall and smite and steal it. So at this point, I'm thinking that finally when we manage to get something, I'm starting to become really fed, I'm on free items, the game is starting to turn around, and then Baron gets stolen because of my team is being really retarded, and it's mainly Ashe keep hitting it, because Ashe has been arguably the worst player on the team, for sure. But she kept hitting it, and I kept actually making fun or lightly flaming Ashe at the start of the game, because I told her, just imagine if you had QSS against Lissandra and Lona, that you wouldn't have been hard feeding early on, because I was a bit pissed. But she managed to get QSS, and then because of her getting QSS finally, she's gonna die substantially less, as she will start surviving team fights. Because even though they're trying to go for her, she just cleansed the CC, and the team fights are gonna go a lot better for us, starting from this point. We don't spot the enemy team yet doing anything significant with their Baron. Lona finally goes on to Ashe. Rengar kinda buys time, so we're gonna trade 1-for-1, which I'm fine with because Rengar is still behind and we kill one of their primary sources of engage. So for me, I'm fine with the exchange. Unfortunately, Mundo ends up dying 1v1, which then enables them to put some pressure on us and now sieging. I keep lurking here to see because uh, Ashe still has ult. I spot that she stuns the Misfortune, but I had already pressed to port behind Misfortune prior to a stun because I didn't see the distance properly. So it looks kind of like an awkward ult because I could have just walked it. Then we get Misfortune and then the enemy team ends up splitting, so Trinamer is on the top taking the inhibitor. We managed to get Lissandra and then I managed to help our team trade and kill the rest of them without losing any member. I spam ping that we should take Infernal because it's respawn and they have 3 people dead, so obviously we're gonna go for that juicy ass Infernal because we don't want them to have it, and then we're gonna get some equalizing power back into the game to neutralize and match their Infernal. And since we won another team fight because how poorly the enemy team played and split, we only ended up losing one inhibitor, getting some kills, and now I'm suddenly at 17 stacks on a Dark Harvest. And I bought Mejai to gamble on how the game was going because I didn't have enough gold for needlessly long rod, and I was sitting on like 7 or 10 stacks on Dark Seal, so I decided to go Mejai and gamble on how the game is gonna go and my ability to carry the game. And we ended up winning the last team fight and getting the Infernal. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm just really strong at this point in the game because I'm at 4 items, it's fully stacked, the game is going really well. We managed to beat their Baron because they were playing it poorly, and now I'm sitting soon on Rabadon, which I pinged for my team in a bit, or to David, my duo, that I have it in like 1.8 or something. I have full build, and I just keep farming and trying to remain strong into the game. And so far how the game has been going on is our team has been forced to be responsive of their team. Luckily the enemy team has shown different signs. They suck at engaging, they suck at team fighting, their decision making is really poor. So our team has just been getting the better half on being reactive and counter initiative of their plays. So we always play based off how enemy team is playing, and since they're playing bad, we can just play and we can recover that way because they keep making mistakes and giving us way ins rather than closing the game uh, closing the game properly out. Here I spot Tryndamere. I wanna see if I can try to combo him and just burn a bit of HP before they start sieging mid. Mundo is trying to shove out a bit the wave. I spot Tryndamere really late, who is trying to all in for the inhibitor. He does get the inhibitor, which is bad for us, but then he dies luckily. And no, he doesn't die, my bad. Or he dies, no, he dies really late. The Lissandra engages like assumingly a retard, so we end up getting Lissandra and no one is dead in our team. I see Leona, so I go for the Leona obviously. I have my ult up, so I'm gonna try and go for the Misfortune. I know I have Zhonya here, so I Zhonya immediately and then I spot Tali and I'm just gonna flash and go for her because then I get my 21 stack on Dark Harvest, and securing Tali here is gonna be guaranteed Baron, but it probably was guaranteed Baron before then. So a part of me thinks, damn, I wasted flash, but I haven't had the need for flash in a long time in the game. And I'm just really fed and I keep stacking the Dark Harvest. I got 4 more stacks of being 17 earlier from that team fight. So I'm just really fed and now I'm gonna get Baron. Now I'm at past 20 stacks. I got Rabadon. I got Elixir. Or, no, I didn't get Elixir. I will get it off this wave. My bad. I go back to get Elixir. Yeah, I remember now. I lack like 130 gold or something. And then by killing that wave, I now get Elixir. My bad. Um, I finally get Elixir, I have max build, and as you can see, my AP is 1150.
Red team's inhibitor is respawning soon.
We still lack vision and lane priority, so I sit back in the base a bit. Because I'm fine stalling the game for my teammates, I can basically almost 1v9 at this point, like really convincingly. Luckily we spot the enemy team kind of splitting, so I keep hovering here and then I use Mundo to check first. And I try to Q and see if someone's lurked there to get some cheese damage in. My team kind of goes in. I do a really bad ult, and obviously I
Dominating.
can't catch MF because of the river passive and her passive. So I keep chasing them a bit, and I keep running, I keep running. I miss Misfortune, but I spot the Tryndamere, and we managed to get to the Tryndamere as well. Lissandra is seen mid, and I don't know why the enemy team keeps fucking up and giving us kills, but because they're fucking up again, it leads us to be able to push. However, since I don't have flash and it's their bot lane, I'm pinging we should maybe just take the Infernal and be safe, and keep stalling and scaling our team, because of how the game is going and it's going good for us. So I'd rather get the Infernal secure now, and slow the push despite having two people dead,
Red
because I
team has
thought it was
slain the
more
dragon.
important than sieging at this point, because we still have the inhibitor
Blue
down
team's
and
turret has been
everyone is
destroyed.
just massively coming back into our team, getting really high-end items, and it's looking really good. Asha's now finally caught up in items, Mundo is looking good,
Blue team's turret
Rengar
has been
is looking good
destroyed.
compared to his significant other on Tali. Lissandra is way behind me, and Janna also has items, so the game is looking really, really good for us. Here I spot the enemy team basically chasing our team, so I spot Tryndamere and I ward behind me in case, and then I rush for the mid, and I basically think to myself, okay, I see Misfortune, I'm gonna bait, and then I just run towards her, and
Legendary.
let's say I one-shot her for fun. And apparently my team manages to close or kill some people. They managed to kill Tali off
Killing
the chase,
spree.
and
Blue team's turret has been
then they
destroyed.
managed to kill Lona off the chase
Blue team's
and
inhibitor has
Tryndamere.
been destroyed.
And I'm thinking, hey, I can just push and finish
Godlike.
now, because I don't know what the fuck happened, but the enemy team off killing Mundo, they ended up and
Blue
all of them
team's
just
turret has
died
been destroyed.
by my team or by my duo. I
Blue
don't know.
team's turret has been
So I
destroyed.
knew I could just finish the game. But then Lissandra hands me one more kill and I'm thinking,
Blue
hey,
team's inhibitor is respawning
why
soon.
the fuck? You know? Like, why the fuck not? I'm not going and get myself another juicy kill and then end 15 and 1. Um, First, I kind of want to apologize because the commentary was kind of like off. The game started really slow, like I said. It took me like 14 minutes to get my second kill. It didn't take me until like 20 minutes plus to get rolling on the stacks and get on the kills. My team was playing really far behind, even though Tryndamere was camped. He managed to open a lot of our base and trade himself for inhibs. Luckily, he kept doing it, which allowed us to find ways in teamfights or for the enemy team to keep misplaying their teamfight based on their poor decision making. And by that, I managed to come back into the game and stay far ahead uh, compared to any other player and keep bringing my team back based on how the enemy team kept misplaying. And we just managed to come back. So even though my team was kind of playing poorly and so on early on, we managed to come back and I managed to hard carry the game despite everyone being really behind except the top lane. But even top lane was kind of auto-filled because he gave me the role. So he didn't really match the best to Trin. He even died later on a few times, 1v1 to him, like twice I think, maybe 3 times. And by that point I can consider that I had 4 losing teammates, but as a team we managed to recuperate well. Janna actually wasn't really losing too much on her own now that we look at the stat, so she was playing pretty control as well. But Nonetheless, our ADC was far behind, the jungler was behind, the top lane, even though Camp got behind later on and the game looked really grim, we managed to come back and punish the team being bad on their mistakes and decision making, so it ended up really good. As I want to close this commentary off, I just want to mention quick one thing. Me one-shotting Miss Fortune was a funny interaction because I pulled a random card because I knew I would kill her with just W and a Q. I was pretty sure, or an auto, but I wasn't sure how the interaction would work. So when I tossed the card, my auto attack damage is calculated, so I deal 124 AD plus the AP based on it, how it goes. Um, the Lich Bane was also added onto the auto attack. The W itself was added on the auto attack, which dealt, as you guys can see, like, um, well, plus 700 damage. Then my E was added on it, which does 700 damage. And then out of these four, they must have been activated at the same time, but I think how the damage works is one of them obviously gets calculated into the system before. So let's say the Lishbane procced first for fun, then the auto, then the W, and then it brought Misfortune down to 50%, and then with the E uh, being the next attack or the final attack, because she was brought down to 50%, the E procced and dealt its damage, and then it procced Dark Harvest. So just from that one auto, I had 5 different sources proccing onto her, which is kind of funny to think of the interaction because it's like auto, Lishbane, W, E, Dark Harvest, and then because of the first four, they managed to get her low and managed one of them to proc the Dark Harvest. So in total, there was like 5 different damage sources with one card being based off on it. So I just thought it was funny when I one-shot her and then I ran it back in my head. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the game and I'll see you later because I'll hit the stream up. Else, just keep tuned for more gameplay later on as I will